Hi, I'm Elizabeth Robinson, and this is my presentation about the coastal processes and landforms of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is located in the Caribbean, southeast of the island of Hispaniola. Puerto Rico has about 311 miles of total coast, with a wide variety of coastlines. The beaches are relatively short and divided into separate, distinct systems. The prevailing winds in the Caribbean and Puerto Rico are marked by these yellow lines, showing the direction of the northeastern trade winds. Waves come mainly from the southeast, and the Caribbean has its own mini-current shown here. Puerto Rico is close to a transform plate boundary, where the Caribbean plate moves east and the North American plate moves west. This creates a subduction zone in the Puerto Rico Trench, shown in this image in purple. The Puerto Rico Trench is the deepest submarine depression in the North Atlantic Ocean. The deepest point in the trench is known as the Milwaukee Depth and is over 27,000 feet deep. This tectonic activity around Puerto Rico creates an active coast, especially on the eastern side of the island. My rafts discuss the Puerto Rico Trench and potential tsunamis that could come from this tectonic activity. The researchers numerically generated different sizes of tsunamis to see the impact that each would have on nearby coasts, like other Caribbean islands, and on faraway coasts like the beaches between New Jersey and Maine. Although their study was interesting, their main conclusions called for more research. In order to better predict the tsunamis and their impacts, they would need more geologic information from the Puerto Rico Trench. Since there are different types of coast on the island, I'm going to focus on two different areas. First, we'll look at the beach on the northwest corner of the island from Arecibo to Aguadilla. This coast contains a series of rocky limestone cliffs that are slowly being eroded because of the waves. There is a narrow coastal plain in front of the limestones, but sand from those beaches is being incorporated into backing sand dunes. Moving down the westward coast of the island from Aguadilla to Punta Cabo Roja, there is a series of structural mountain ridges. The ridges form a rocky coast, and the coastline bordering the valleys is occupied by sand beaches or mangroves. The sand here has equal parts of carbonate, shelf material, quartz, dark minerals, and volcanic rock fragments, making it appear a little darker than on other parts of the island. Okay, so shifting corners, now we're going to look at the northeast corner of the island, particularly the stretch from Cabo San Juan to San Juan. These beaches are what you would think of as the nice Caribbean beaches, with the barrier coast at the mouth of the Rio de Loíza River. The coastal area here is low and sandy except for a few bluffs. The lowlands are about 5 to 7 kilometers wide. There are several large mangrove areas here, and about 100 meters, they're about 100 meters behind the beach. The sediments on these beaches are primarily carbonate, except for a few places where there's a lot of input from nearby river sediments. The quartz content is especially high here because it's a drainage basin for the Rio Loíza River. Where this river meets the ocean, it creates a spit, forming unique landforms for the coast. The tide range is a mixed semi-diurnal. A mixed semi-diurnal tide is one that experiences two high and two low tides of different sizes every lunar day. This graph shows the depths of high and low tides, times, and dates of recent tides in San Juan. You can see from the chart that there are two different high tides and two different low tides per day. This graph also shows the change in the depth of the tides, which is about 2 feet, making it in the microtidal range. Fetch sizes vary, but the maximum distance across the Atlantic is about 3,107 miles. Given this distance, the waves are much stronger on the eastern side of the island. So that's about it for the coastal regions of Puerto Rico. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.